So this was the other crossover that I was going to talk about, and just as, like I said, just as I was about to do this video, the announcement for the Fantastic Four Gargoyles crossover announced. I was like, shit, I got to talk about that first, because this was one that has been basically built up for a while now, and that is, yeah, Predator kills the Marvel Universe. Can we just talk about real fast that, like, in the span of 1 month, Marvel has basically announced Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe, Predator kills the Marvel Universe, and a crossover with Gargoyles. And they're doing a Marvel DC crossover, and they're still doing the Alien versus Avengers crossover. Yeah, it's just kind of cool to see Marvel properties cross over with stuff. I mean, a lot of it outside of Godzilla, and yes, you could say, but they're crossing over Dynamite, yeah, with a Disney property, so it's kind of in-house to begin with. But aside from Godzilla, it is a lot of in-house stuff, and yes, there was the Fortnite crossover. But for the vast majority, they have been Marvel has just been playing with their own toys up until the DC crossover, and now it's very clear that they're willing to work with other companies again. It's just kind of nice to see that. I don't know what that says about the state of comic books in general, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure. So yeah, DC, Dynamite, Toho. Yeah, it's just kind of nice to see Marvel playing with everyone else after DC's just been picking up the slack with a lot of crossovers. So it is kind of nice to see Marvel get in the game again. I also find it funny that Marvel's doing not only Godzilla versus Marvel, and then Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe. We basically get fucking I like to imagine this image in my head of like the Marvel superheroes just like, oh god, Godzilla wiped out half the Marvel universe. It's a godsend. It's a miracle that we managed to beat him. And Predator comes along like, hey, sup? I'm about to kill y'all. Now, I'm not saying that crossover is going to both are connected. I'm not saying that at all. I just thought it'd be a fun joke. Godzilla's destroying the Marvel Universe. Predators are killing the Marvel Universe. Yeah. So, like I've been saying, and like I'm sure a lot of you know, that the Predator versus Marvel trilogy that Ben Percy has been setting up. Obviously, we've had Predator versus Wolverine. It started with Predator versus Wolverine, then it went on to Predator versus Black Panther, and now currently the first issue of Predator versus Spider-Man is out. And throughout it, Percy has said that this is going to be the big event. This is what it's all been leading to in Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. So, yeah. And Percy did say that title should be taken seriously. Like, he straight up said, oh yeah, you should absolutely take what I said as seriously, because I am going to kill Marvel characters. So this is not in the Marvel Universe we know. This is actually going to have character deaths. Now, as to who, we don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, I mean, we did have some major character deaths in Jonathan Hickman's Alien Avengers crossover. So yeah, it's kind of nice. It is cool, regardless, to see this this universe that they've been setting up for the Predator side to. Just, I don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm sure it's going to be bloody. But it does leave the question, right? Like, it does honestly leave the question, how do the Yautja clans deal with characters like, Hulk or Storm or Thor? How do they combat them? And right now, for those who didn't read Black Panther versus Predator, the Yautja clans did acquire, or are in the midst of acquiring, vibranium, which they call God Metal. Which even I'm like, yeah, vibranium weaponry is pretty powerful, but you're still fighting a god and a gamma radiated monster. I don't know how that's going to give you an edge. Maybe mix some space technology into it. It's also been kind of spoiled in the plot synopsis that the Predators are turning Earth into a massive game preserve. So it's curious to see how that'll play out, and I'm sure that's the end. We now know the end goal of the Predator Spider-Man crossover. So, we have that now to to kind of look forward to at the end of this. Which, again, I haven't read the comic. I haven't read Spider-Man vs. Predator. I'm waiting for trade on that one. But my good friend Matt Denian did tell me that, like, yeah, the first issue was really solid. So it's good to know, because I was really I found Black Panther vs. Predator really lacking. Anyway, getting back on topic, now this is opened, like, since we are going to have Predators fighting more different Marvel characters, it does open the door to, like, hope maybe we'll get Predator versus Punisher. That's one we've been waiting for, and Moon Knight and Daredevil. Like, a lot of the street level characters are like ones I've wanted to see the Yautja fight. And it'll probably be multiple Yautja taking on heroes. That's probably how they'll kill a lot of them, is through, like, just kind of swarming them. But I hope they do manage to take out a few. As for others, I'm curious to see again, how do the Yautja clans contend with the likes of, Hulk, because again, Hulk is going to be a big one, and how are they going to combat the likes of, like, Thor? Again, he's a god, and even with Vibranium, Vibranium hasn't really slowed him down much. And again, they're going to have that rematch. It's probably, since it is, again, we are tying in those 3 crossovers, it's going to be interesting to see, like, Wolverine and Spider-Man and Black Panther are probably going to be the 3, because they're like, yeah, we fought Logan especially has been fighting them the longest in this continuity. So Logan's probably going to be, like, at the forefront of this story. Probably also because Ben Percy, like, his Wolverine run is kind of big. So I would imagine Wolverine's probably going to take, like, a center stage here and like probably help the others alongside Peter and T'Challa. Like I said, those 3 are probably going to be like, yeah, we were the ones who encountered them the most. Although I wouldn't be shocked if, like, there's a story where in here we get a side thing where S.H.I.E.L.D. has always, like, kept tabs on the Yautja, as well as maybe have a thing where Cap and Bucky encounter them during World War II. I would not be shocked if we did get that in the crossover. I would in no way, shape, or form be shocked if we got that. As for other, like, fights I'm curious about, I'm curious of how the Predators are going to combat Tony and his armors, or how do you combat Carol, who is a walking energy battery? Like, how do you fight her? Or how do you combat Scarlet Witch's chaos, that chaos magic she has? How do you combat Doctor Strange? That's stuff I'm curious to see, like, how they explore it. I mean, again, they have vibranium armor now, but that can only get you so far. So I imagine it's going to be like hunting tactics, probably studying a lot of those characters. Curious to see how this plays out, but I'm ready to see how this ends. I'm ready to see how this version of the Marvel Universe is going to be, like, torn apart by Predators. I'm very curious to see how this will all play out in the end. It'll be interesting. I'll say that much. Like, yeah. So I'm excited to see this again. While I didn't like I know I recently did a review of Black Panther versus Predator, and I didn't really like it. I did enjoy Predator versus Wolverine. Yeah, so Black Panther versus Predator wasn't that great, but Predator versus Wolverine is great. I think Ben Percy's a solid writer, and again, to trust my good friend Matt on the to follow up on that, Spider-Man vs. Predator is really solid, so I'll be excited to read that. I'm also excited to read, when it finally comes out in trade, Alien vs. Avengers. I heard that was really good. I've heard nothing but glowing reviews for Aliens vs. Avengers, so I'm excited to read that in trade. And I'm curious if they'll do another Alien crossover, because so far it's been Avengers. It is. I'm guessing maybe they'll announce Alien vs. Avengers when the comic is done. When the first comic is done, maybe they'll announce another Alien crossover. Hopefully with either Venom or Guardians of the Galaxy, or even X-Men. Even though technically we did have X-Men in the Avengers crossover, but who knows? Maybe we'll get a solid, like, X-Men Alien crossover in the comic. But yeah, it's like I said, it's just kind of cool to see, Marvel do crossovers again. Even though a lot of them are in-house, but it is cool to see, like, Toho and DC in that mix of crossovers. Yeah. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Predator Kills the Marvel Universe? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? What fights are you kind of hoping to see, like the Predators taking on Punisher or Moon Knight or Daredevil, or even like how do you think they'll take on like big threats like big game? I'm sure they'll call it like Storm and Thor and Hulk and Captain Carol and all them. Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.